I give you Bill Wolf.
What's your job? You're a district engineer? Okay. And he came running right over. Okay, well, to start off here, I want to address one of the misconceptions about telescopic hotline tools. Especially here in Canada, it seems to be a pretty prevalent conception that only the foam-filled fiberglass is insulated. So even though you have a 40-foot telescopic stick, only the top 5 feet or so of that stick is considered insulated, and that's the only hot stick part of this tool. That is 100% incorrect. The entire stick is insulated fiberglass. The entire stick is tested. All of the fiberglass that we produce at Hastings Fiberglass is 100% tested at 100,000 volts per foot. If I have a 40-foot stick, I actually have 4 million volts of insulation from top to bottom on that stick. Now, what your job is to maintenance this stick so that it maintains that insulated value and so that you can use it safely. You can use this stick safely in the rain. Any weather that a lineman's going to work in, this stick should be able to be there right by his side. Some of the problems with using a telescopic stick when it has the hollow sections on here is that moisture and dirt can get down into the hollow sections. So a simple fix for that is as you use this or you lay it down in the grass or you're out in inclement weather, snow or rain or what have you, as you put it away, as you let it come back down, run it through a silicone cloth, or if you don't have that, even a dry cloth, something without dyes on it, hopefully so you don't transfer conductive dyes. Let it run down through a silicone cloth as you retract it back into its staged position, and then that should keep a lot of the moisture and any dirt or ice or anything that's on that stick out of the inside of that. Next time you use it, it should be fine test fine and be insulated. Also on our triangular stick like this, you can take these sticks apart. So if you do happen to have contamination inside, whether it's water or dirt or snow or ice, grease, whatever you might have on your gloves when you're using it, you can take this apart very easily. You can clean out the inside of the sections using like a bore brush that we have, and then you can let it dry out and put it back together. If it's just moisture inside your stick, you can just take it apart, put it in an air-conditioned room or a heated truck, cab of a truck, and that'll let it dry out. Now on your inclement weather days, or if you have a program scheduled testing in your utility, the easiest way to test this, and what I like to do first, is I like to do a test with our hot stick tester. Do the dry test, which is 100,000 volts per foot. And I'll go down the stick before I do any cleaning at all. And as I put this on the stick, it's going to tell me whether my stick is passing or failing before I've done anything to it. So if this stick, insulation. It has actually this is going to measure, and if there's more than 15 microamps of leakage current across here, it's going to tell me that it's failing. In the U.S., OSHA says that if this stick generates heat or arcs over, that it's failing. That actually happens at about 200 microamps of leakage current. But all the hot stick manufacturers will limit that down to 15 for a dry and 75 on a wet stick. So anyway, this stick now I know is in good condition. It's insulated. If they look dirty, like this hot arm right here, it has some scuff marks on it because this is used. All I'm going to really do now in my care and maintenance, because this passed a test, is I'm just going to try and clean that cosmetically. If this failed a test, the whole stick would fail a test, then what I would do is work on a small area of this stick, get that small area to pass, and then I know what I have to do to the rest of the stick before I spend all this time trying to clean the whole stick and find out I'm not making any progress. Some of the problems that you may have when you find a stick that's not passing is that there may be an improper cleaner used on it. It could have been sprayed with brake cleaner. Some guys will take these to the wash bay and just hose them off and call them clean. Really what they're doing is just introducing moisture into there and causing a problem. But if it's already passing, you know you have none of those issues. You know that it's just going to be cosmetic. Put some wax on there so that it beads water again. I can use it in the rain, and we'll be good to go on this. So it's going to be a lot less labor intensive. Let's assume that this failed, and I don't really know why it failed. There's only two options on why this would fail. Is something's either on it or inside of it. In this case, it's the U-shaped arm, but let's go back to our hollow stick here. So there's something either on the fiberglass or inside the hollow section. Nothing is going to penetrate the fiberglass. There's nothing in the fiberglass itself. So if this is failing, you can fix it. The only thing that's really going to be difficult to do is if you have water and dirt that's on the button assembly down here and that's packed in there, you're not going to be able to get that out. And what that's going to do is you're going to have a stick that's going to pass grade as you go down with your test. It's going to pass, 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 pass. You get to this lock assembly right here, needle goes up and it's failing the test in this little 4-inch area. And then pass, pass, pass again. It doesn't mean your stick's unusable. What it means is now you're going to take this 4.5 feet, 5 feet. You're going to add it to this 4.5, 5 feet. You're going to add that to the next 4.5, 5 good feet. You end up with 15, 16, 20 feet of good stick. These little areas that are not passing does not mean that you don't count the rest of it. They just add up. So even though you're going to have some areas that might have trouble, if the whole stick is overall passing, you still have a good stick. So back to our hot arm here, these types of tools here, they stay out on the job for months at a time, maybe weeks at a time, months at a time. So before you put this out on the job, you want to make sure this is in good condition. These things get abused. They may be cracked in their conductor holders. You may have bent eye screws on them. You might even have cracked fiberglass because the guys will put these up on the arms to move some conductors out. When they come by afterwards and they're cleaning the job up, they'll take these off the arm, they'll come down in a bucket truck, and they'll just throw it into a trailer. And these just get thrown on top of each other, one after the other. Well, that could cause damage, and nobody's going to notice that until it breaks one day, and they don't know when it was ever broken. So before you use it, you want to inspect this. A simple way to clean these is we have an all-purpose cleaner. And here you see there's some black smudges on here from conductor that's been on it. So you take this all-purpose cleaner, you spray that on there. Take one of these non-conductive abrasive pads. Sit down, Lyman, I'm talking to you. You scrub this down. Now, remember, we already did a test on this, and this is already passed, right? Then I know I don't have to get all this stuff off. Whatever is black on here, if there's some tar off my insulation or something to scuff this up, I'm really not concerned with getting it off because I know it's not conductive. I already did a test on there. So really, I'm just going to try to beautify this arm. So I'll just scrub this down. Take a towel, wipe it off. So now I have a clean arm, but the problem with this arm is now it's not going to bead water because I just used an abrasive pad on here to clean this off. This does not bead water. So if I'm out and I put this up on a job and it rains in 2 days, I'm going to have phases coming down because it's going to start arcing across this. So what I have to do to take care of that is put a coat of wax on. This wax will last a long time. It's a high carnauba blend. I don't know if it's any different than auto wax because we don't test all the auto wax. I wouldn't bother trying to use auto wax. Have your company buy this boom wax. But you just put this on and wipe it off. And so now it's going to bead water. And the way that I know if this is going to be safe to use out there in inclement weather and leave it out on that job for a couple months. So I'm going to take my water, spray it down on the wet stick here, make this stick wet to where the water is just dripping off of it, beading. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like your car when you got wax on it, right? The water beads. As long as those beads of water are not connecting, then I can do a wet test on here and it's going to pass. And I know it's going to pass because I already did a dry test on this and it passed that. So my fiberglass was good, it was clean to begin with. Now I put my hot stick tester on here and I'm getting 0 leakage. So this is perfect. This stick right now, this hot arm is perfect. I'm going to back up a little bit for you linemen. You guys are linemen, right? Okay. Have you guys heard that the only insulated part of a telescopic stick is a foam-filled section on the top? I know it, and I deal with this up here all the time, Canada. Thanks. Yeah, I know, thanks. I just want to make sure back up. Actually, the entire stick is insulated. We test all of the fiberglass we build. The entire 40-foot stick or whatever you're using is insulated. The only reason that you would consider it not insulated is if you're not maintaining the rest of the stick. So are you not maintaining the stick? You don't know? You didn't know you were going to have to interact here, huh? You just started? Okay, well, the entire stick is going to be a hot stick for you. If you got an underbuild, if you're running this up there and you're going to be doing some switching on your primary, and you got underbuild on here, maybe you're up on 69 kV with this for whatever reason, or you're hanging the ground or whatever, right? You're working up there, and down here you're on your primary, and this is still making connection with you, and it's a wet day. You want this entire stick to be good. You can't just count on the top 5 feet. Sometimes that won't even work for your limit of approach. So you need the entire stick to be good. You can test and clean this entire stick. All of it comes to you insulated. We test it all at 100,000 volts per foot. Do you guys have any questions? Because you missed the beginning. I want to make sure you get it. I got like 3 minutes. Okay, I got extra time. All right. On these hot arms, part of what you guys missed, I'm sorry, I'm going to go over this for you. On these hot arms, what some of you guys missed is that these things, you guys use hot arms, right? You've seen these, you know what these are? A lot of times these will be left out on your job for weeks at a time, months at a time. When you go up and take these down out of the air, you go up and rip them down, come down in a bucket truck. How many times you guys see a trailer behind that bucket truck? This guy will come down as low as he can in that bucket truck and just throw those in the trailer, right? I mean, I did it when I was a lineman. You abuse this stuff because you think it's unbreakable, and it's not. I did it. I mean, I used to use these as baseball bats, man, out there hitting rocks when we had nothing to do. I didn't realize that I'm breaking my own tools by doing that, because back in the days when it was wood, we took care of it. We always worried about humidity levels and moisture in the stick. Now that they're fiberglass, we think they're unbreakable, always going to be insulated, and that's not the case. We have to treat these with respect, have to keep them clean, you have to wax them, keep them as water resistant as you can. Another thing, moisture on the inside of these guys, I started talking about this earlier too. If you get moisture on the inside, this will fail your electrical test. If that's the case, you just take the stick apart, put it in the cab of a truck with the heater on in the winter, or put it inside in an air-conditioned room in the summer so it gets out of the humidity, and let this thing dry out. It just needs to dry out. A lot of times, if you can't find anything wrong with the hollow stick, it's just moisture on the inside. And if you leave it put together, you're going to continue to have that moisture in there. Sometimes you take it apart, it smells like a musty basement. It's just some mildew that will build up in there, okay? So make sure if you use these in the rain, when you go to put them away, wipe them down with a silicone cloth as you retract them. So as you're running it back down, just take a cloth, dry cloth or silicone cloth, just run it back down. Let it get some of that moisture off of there as you run your stick back down. Okay, it'll take care of a lot of problems later that are going to be a headache. I get calls all the time at the factory. You know, my stick's no good. I was only 2 years old or 3 years old. It doesn't matter if it's 2 days old. If I let it get wet inside, I got a problem in there. Okay? Any questions? Thanks for sitting down, guys. All right.
You want to leave yet, guys? We got to thank you